everybody, welcome back to Nick's Mini Bikes. Today I finally got my gas tank that I ordered right here. It's a direct fit and it takes place of the fake tank that usually goes right here, and it is a real tank. So today we're going to get this put on. We're going to decide if we're going to take this tank off, see how it looks with it off, or we're going to decide if we're going to double tank it. And that all depends on how it looks with this tank off. I like this area here to be full. I don't like big gaps. And then towards the end of the video, we're going to start doing some foam work on the back to start making our mold to make like a rear fairing kind of deal on the back here with rear fenders and stuff. We'll look at a few different ways to glue the foam together, and we'll just make a decision on what kind of glue we're going to use when we make the pattern for back here. So come along for the ride and let's get started. Alright, so this is our gas tank here. Got a plastic lid with an O-ring and a vent. It's made specifically for the CT200U-EX, and it bolts right into the same place as your faux tank. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our petcock put in. It's going to go right here. This comes with it, and it's just going to go right in here. And it'll screw in. This tank is plastic, and the first time I put this petcock in there, the plastic mold in the bottom wasn't big enough for this filter to go through. It would go through it, but it would catch when you try to turn it and start trying to break that filter there. So since it is plastic, I decided I'd just take a drill that just barely fit in there. I just put it in there and I twist it by hand. And I'll hold it upside down so all the plastic falls out. And I just twist it in by hand and just open that up a little bit. Now that we got that done, our petcock will go right in and turn in, no problems. So that's pretty snug right there. I don't want to force it, so I'm just going to back it off half a turn. Put it the way we want it, about like that. There's a lock nut. It'll smash the rubber gasket and seal that petcock to the tank. There we go, we got that petcock installed. So first we're going to get this tank off. It's going to be a couple tens here to get the airbox off. Disconnect our vent hose. Airbox comes right off. Next we'll take care of our two 10 millimeters up front here. And then our 8 millimeter on the back here. Now we'll unhook our fuel line. It is full of gas, so we'll have to plug this. I can't get it off, so I'm just going to cut it. Then just a small bolt will plug that hole, and this gas tank should come off. Alright, let's try this tank on for size. Bolts line up perfect as expected. Each one's going to get a washer a lock washer and a nut, and I'll just snug them down. On the back too, you can't get a socket on there. I tried, they're just too close to the frame. That's a snug fit, but it's nice. So I'm attacking those two back ones with a wrench. Just keep in mind it is plastic, so don't get crazy on it. For the front though, I can get a ratchet on it. And there it is with the tank on it. I guess I don't really hate it like that, but just feel like it could look better. But that's what we got. I don't think I'm gonna put the stock tank back on. Just gonna leave it like that. So let's run our fuel line. So the tank came with a piece of fuel line and 2 clamps. I'm gonna start with getting the fuel line down on the carburetor. I did steal the little protective sleeve off the stock tank. And I'm gonna run this fuel line the same as the stock tank line back underneath the fan shroud, and we'll stick our little protective sleeve on it and a clamp. Slide her back through, put it on the carb, and then we'll slide our clamp down. And we'll just run right up. I'll cut it about right there. Get our clamp on the hose. Then we'll slide it onto that petcock. We'll slide our clamp up just like that. That tank is installed. Now we just got to get our air box put back on. So this vent line that went to our original tank, we won't be using it anymore. I do need to plug this though, because it'll be a vacuum leak. So I'm just going to cut it way back here. My original gas tank clamp on there. Then I'm just going to stick a little bolt through the hose. Bolt's in there, and that clamps on the bolt, and that should take care of any vacuum leak. And we'll get that air box back on. And there you have it. Real gas tank installed. Let's put some gas in it and check for leaks. Petcock is off. I didn't fill it up, I just put a bit in there. Don't see nothing. Go ahead and open the petcock. Don't see nothing. Start it up. So it seems good to go. I like it. It looks good on there. I still don't really like this empty space, but I don't think there's really much I can do about that. One thing I did notice is we turned this into a trike. We changed the stance of the bike. The back sits a little lower than it used to. So any fuel back here, you know, lower than the petcock, it's just never going to come out. So we'll just have to remember that it's out of gas when there's still a little gas in there. It's got quite a bit of gas in it for it to get up to that petcock. I kind of wish it would maybe have been back here towards the tail end of it. That would have been better for my application. But on a regular bike with the back up higher, it probably sits flat and it's not an issue. I'm also not a real big fan of the giant seam that you can see all the way around the tank. I don't know if that comes in on the video, but it's right here and it's all the way around. But yeah, there's our new tank. It's installed, it's not leaking, it looks good on there. So I am gonna be making some fiberglass rear fenders for this, the rear cover basically, and I don't know how to do that, so I'm just gonna be winging it. So right now, real quick, I'm gonna get some of my foam board that I bought and we're gonna try different glues and see which one we'll use to glue these pieces together. All right, so this is the foam I have. It's Pink Panther insulating foam. Bought a 4x8 sheet of it from Lowe's. So I just cut me a few pieces here. I've got 4 different ways to try to glue this together. First, we're gonna try just some liquid nails adhesive. And I'm just gonna put a little on here. And I'm going to stick 2 pieces together. This is very super tacky, but it's takes a long time to dry. But you know, it holds it together okay. We'll just spend a lot of time waiting for this to dry. The next thing I got is just some Elmer school glue. We all know how this works. Just going to put a little bit on there. And this is the same as the caulking over there. It'll work, but it doesn't quite hold it as tight as the caulking does, as far as like weighting, but it'll work as well. Just have a long wait time for each piece to dry, which is kind of slows you down. The next thing that I have is a hot glue gun. This has Gorilla Glue sticks in it. This is a high temp hot glue gun. My worry with this is that it'll just melt the foam before I get it stuck together. So we'll just load that up. Don't look like it's melting it, and stick those together. So that worked really good, like 45 seconds, and they're not coming apart. That worked really good. So the next one I got is a low temp hot glue gun. I was worried that the high temp was going to melt the foam and cause me problems. So I also have a low temp, same glue. Just put it on there. Just like that, it's stuck together pretty solid already, that fast. And while we were trying those hot glues, here's your Elmer's glue. It's still tacky, still just pulls right apart. So the Elmer glue's a no-go. Your caulk, this was my first idea because it's cheap. It's like $2 for that tube of caulking. It just pulls right apart. It'll probably dry eventually and be good, but I need to be able to just keep moving on it and not wait for glue to dry. The high temp, it did melt the foam a little bit, but that's solid. The low temp, it's solid. The high temp gives me a little more working time because it's hotter, so it takes a little bit longer to dry, but not enough to worry about. So I think what we're gonna do is use a high temp hot glue gun, because that is those are stuck together. Just that fast. That's done. Done. That Elmer's glue is still drying. So yeah, hot glue gun it is. Alright, so that's going to do it for this episode of Nick's Mini Bikes. I like the way the tank fit, and I like the way it looks on there. I'm still not exactly sure I like it with the big hole in the middle of the frame there with nothing in it, because I do like those frames to look full with the engine in there. But I think we're just going to roll with it the way it is, and we're going to leave that stock tank off for now. We are going to get an exhaust at some point and an air filter, so it'll be even more empty. Maybe it'll grow on me, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I want to do a whole video about making the foam mold for the back. I think it'll just be a lot of the same stuff for the whole video, and it's going to take a long time. So I was thinking about maybe just putting little bits of it at the end of each video from here on for a little while, and then maybe once it's done I can make a whole video if you guys want to see that. So leave a comment down below and let me know if you want to see a whole video of that, or if just little bits of it at the end of each video here will work. So let me know. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe, and watch to the end of the videos to see how that trike's coming along. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.